Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome to my channel. So for today, I'm going to be showing you guys how I lighten somebody's hair. I'm pretty positive that she has black box dye on her hair. She sent me a picture of it. It's really dark, like really dark. So I'm pretty sure it is black. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be heavy highlighting her hair, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. Now, technically, I could take her blonde, but it would be like really brassy, and it's just something, going from black to blonde is not ever something you want to do in one day. It can be done, but your hair will be damaged from it. So my suggestion to her was, let's lift you to a caramel shade, and when we lift her, like your hair on a scale of black to blonde, it goes from black to red to orange to yellow to like a lighter blonde. So with her, we're going to lift her to more of like a yellowy orange, and then I'm going to put a color on top of that that's going to cancel that brassiness out but leave her with a caramel shade. So you will still see some of her black in there, but it's something gradual. We have to gradually lift her up, and at her next appointment, then we can lift up more of that black and we can make that caramel blonde if that's what she wants to do. But black box dye, or box dye in general, dries your hair out immensely. So the best thing to do would be to have your hairstylist do it slowly, slow process, you know, and make sure you do deep conditioning treatments. That's one thing that I'm going to tell her when she's here, is that when she leaves, she needs to do deep conditioning treatments. You can purchase little packets at your beauty supply store for like $1.99, put on a cap, hold a blow dryer to it for, you know, 20 minutes, and or buy one of those that go over your head and just sit under there and let it process and shampoo and rinse it out. Do that a couple times a week and you'll get your hair healthy. If your hair's already fried at the ends, you need to cut it off. I had one girl text me last night telling me that, you know, she had a lot of red box dye in her hair, and the lady just kept trying to take the red out, take the red out, take the red out by bleaching it, and it didn't lift it out. So she bleached it again, it didn't lift it out. The girl goes home and her hair's coming out. That's not something that you want to happen. And there's this product now called Olaplex, and it's supposed to be amazing stuff. Hair by Mandy's used it. Hair with April 101 has used it. I didn't get any yet because I don't really have a lot of blondes. I know you can use it with color. I just don't see like a huge point to use it with color. So I'm going to purchase it more in the springtime or later in the winter to use it in the springtime when everybody wants to go lighter for summer. So I think it'll be more beneficial then. But with that, you put it on and you can lift it like above and beyond to crazy levels, and it works. Now you do have to charge more for that, but you know, people are going to be more willing to pay it than when they're trying to go lighter, as opposed to right now when everyone's trying to go darker for winter, and you know, they're transitioning from fall to winter. So I'm excited to show you guys. Hopefully you like these videos. If you do, make sure to give them a thumbs up. The thumbs up is under this video on my YouTube channel. Please make sure to share this with your friends. Let other people know. I think these videos are cool. It's cool to see the transformation and how I get there. And just for other hairstylists who maybe aren't so sure on how to do things like this, I think this is really awesome to educate other people and just share your knowledge instead of just keeping it all inside. And you know, the best thing you can do is bond with other hairstylists and, you know, tell other hairstylists your tricks and tips, because we're not competing with each other. In the end, we're really just working together. So I hope you guys like these videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Alright guys, so here's what I'll be using. You're going to need 2 bowls, 2 brushes, foils, gloves, and in this first bowl I'm going to be mixing my Matrix Light Master bleach with, or lightener, not bleach, sorry, with a 10 volume, because that's what I'm going to be using on her outgrowth, because we really don't need it to lift that much, because we're just going to be going to caramel. We're not trying to go to blonde, so I'm going to mix it with this 10. Then in the second bowl, I'm going to be mixing either 30 or 40. If her hair feels really dry, I'm going to stick to 30, mixing 30 with the lightener. If I feel like it's healthy enough to be able to use 40 to try to get a lot of it off, I might do that. But I'm thinking I'm going to stick to 30. We will see. Okay guys, so I've already done the back of her hair, but I'm going to show you guys how I section and foil. So I grab a section that's about 1/2 inch thick, and then I split it in half because we are going to leave some of her dark. And then I just go in and I take my comb, which is nice, this brush has a weaving part on it, and I just go in and I just take whatever I want, and I'm taking a little bit heavier of slivers because we are trying to make the majority of her hair lighter. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to grab a foil, and then I go and I take the foiling comb, put it right here, and flip this over it so that I can shove it really good in there so I can get tight in there and get really close to her roots. And then I'm using a 10 volume lightener mixed with, or 10 volume developer mixed with the lightener, and applying that to her new growth because it doesn't need to be lifted that high. And then I have 30 volume developer mixed with lightener, and that's what I'm applying to the part of her hair that has the black box dye on it. And then for any extra hair that's hanging over, you just grab it and flip it over. And make sure that you're taking thin enough sections, because if you don't take them thin enough, the product won't be able to get all the way through. And since this is 10 and this is 30, if I was to flip this on top of it and fold it, the 30 would get onto the 10 and it would develop like a 20. So I just take another foil. And then you guys will see that I have rinsed her out, and I'm going to dry her a little bit because we're going to be putting this permanent color on top. If you were to put something like this on top of wet hair, it's just not going to soak in as much or do that much. So we're going to add this 9N on top of what she has. So we're going to mix this, and we're going to mix this processing solution in a bottle, shake it up, and apply it to all of the blonde pieces. It's not going to do anything to her black hair because it's too dark. This is going to be, like I said, more of a caramel. And this is permanent, so it's not going to fade out as quickly as a Redken Shades or something like that. And this is a 9N, so the N's going to help cancel out any of the brassiness in her hair. Alright guys, so as you can see, you can tell where we put the 10 volume and where we put the 30, and you can see how the 30 is still that brassy, yellowy orange. So I mixed 4 ounces of the color gels, and then I added 4 ounces of the color gel, the 10 volume developer. And I'm just going to go throughout her hair and apply this everywhere. And it's not going to affect the dark. All that it's going to affect are the places that are lighter. So this is going to cover her gray. This is going to cover any blonde pieces, any yellow, orange pieces, and make it all one color. Alright guys, so we've rinsed her, dried her, cut her, flat ironed her, and as you can tell, the color's really, really pretty, and you can see the caramel and the dark. But when we go back to lighten her the second time, we're going to go over the dark pieces and lighten those, and then the lighter pieces we're going to turn into blonde because she has some grays that we want to make sure aren't as obvious when they grow out. So here is the finished product, and here's the before and after.